Greetings, my brothers and sisters. Awaken Israel. The most important thing we can do is awaken our brothers and sisters in Israel. It's not merely salvation that's at hand, it's survival. I've got an emergency broadcast. This is it. Supreme Court docket number 22-380 is a real case. It comes before the Supreme Court on the 23rd of January. They're going to decide whether or not they're going to hear it. Let's pray that they hear it. It may save America. How? It will remove, for violations of their oaths of office, approximately 385 legislators and remove them immediately and bar them from ever holding office again. It would also remove the occupant of the Chicom White House, that's what we have, and his vice president, and bar them from ever holding public office. And it'll go after the former vice president for his dereliction in duties, because they're required to investigate when the country is under threat, according to their oath of office, which they have all violated. This may be the break that we need. I've recorded earlier. I said, let's get Donald Trump in for Speaker of the House, rather. And if he's Speaker of the House, then he can move right into the White House as president when these people are removed from office. Pray about it. Share this video. Get this word out. Look it up on the internet. Look it up on the Supreme Court site. It's really a case. Number 22-380. 22-380. 22-380. I'm going to give you a little tip. I've been meaning to do this for a while, but I was very depressed at one time in my life. I had made a stupid choice, and I got involved with a married woman. And that was, I think, the stupidest thing I ever did in my life. Oh, it ranks up there. I know there's some other foolish things I did, but I think that's the most foolish thing ever. And at that time, I would get up in the morning and start my day, my prayers off, and say, God, it can't get any worse. Now, I want you to know something. It got worse every day, every time. By the close of business that day, by 5 o'clock, I was reminded who was boss, and it had indeed gotten worse. Ultimately, at some point, I heard about an attitude of gratitude. And nobody really told me how to cultivate it. I stumbled on this, but I decided to give thanks for every little blessing. So I counted each little blessing. I slept in peace, had good sleep, maybe some good dreams. I had breakfast, got a shower, maybe a shave, got clean clothes. I gave thanks for every little blessing possible. Everything. I dwelt on it, and I was cultivating my attitude. It was an attitude of gratitude. You know, you've heard of Thanksgiving. Well, the nation was founded upon that. I think that's an important tradition. I like that better than the other holidays. Well, the 4th of July, 2 presidents died on it. Our first 2 presidents died on the 4th of July, if I remember correctly, or at least 2 of them did. It looks like there was mischief involved, by the way. Both passed away. Other of our founders passed away on the 4th of July as well. Cultivate an attitude of gratitude. Get up and pray. If you're used to doing it on your knees, then so be it. If you're used to doing it as you're going through your day, on your feet, or even driving, be careful. Pray. Pray to Yahweh that He will show you His will. Now, you can look at all of these leaders that we've been given, and you have to understand something. That's what we've been given. Yahweh wants that for us, or wanted it for us at least, and gave it to us. Why? As punishment. And he wants us to turn to him. He doesn't want us to do it by ourselves. You and I weren't designed to do this by ourselves. We were designed to do it with Creator Father Yahweh. Please understand that. That's one of the biggest misconceptions. You weren't designed to be separated from God. You were designed to be in pretty much constant contact and communication. And so when you pray, ask that his will be shown for you. Ask for the resources, the fortitude to be able to do his will. And ask that those of us down in D.C. doing the representing, and especially the Supreme Court justices, that they be given the wisdom and the strength to be able to see through to their jobs. It's one of the few ways in which we can recover our country. I would love to see Donald Trump president again. I believe it's his rightful office, it's his place, it's his calling. I don't think he knows Yahweh yet, but I got a feeling he's going to come to know Yahweh, because this president's going to have to get on his knees to pray for this country. It's that bad. Remember when God sent us judges? We were in such distress that our cries were finally heard, and he would send us judges, including Deborah, a judge, female judge. And you have Samson, of course, that's the most widely known of them. And you have several others. I think that we can change it for our nation. I really think we can. If we turn this nation into Bible readers, believers, not to churchgoers, not to people that think that they can shuck their responsibility and shun any and all responsibility merely by saying some magic formula and everything's taken care of. That to me is, I understand there's a foundation for it in the Bible, but I think the preponderance of the evidence is that it is the doing. The proof is in the pudding. It's in the doing. And you work out your salvation. We have individual salvation and national salvation. We are members of the nation. That's the first prerequisite. You have to be a party to the covenant. It's just like the states. We're parties to the Constitution until the senators were taken away from them, from the state governments. This docket item is going to be heard on the 23rd of January. That's my understanding. And if 4 of the Supreme Court justices vote to hear the thing, they're going to have to take it, the whole Supreme Court. And they're going to have to decide if the oaths of office were violated. And they were. And then they can step in and do the right thing. Maybe, maybe not. This is so tenuous, so iffy. That's why we need to be praying for it constantly. I hope this little coping mechanism I've given you will help you to get through this rough period that we're just entering into. I can assure you this year is going to get worse. I can also assure you that we weren't meant to do it by ourselves. So we have to turn to Yahweh and we have to have faith. I know that I often want to take matters into my own hands. And yet I have to remember there's 10 commandments and there's other commands as well. And I have to abide by those as best I can and wait upon Yahweh, the Lord. To not do that and to not allow Him to make things clear to me at the least is to deny His very existence. I don't want to be found guilty of that. I think I've covered it pretty well. Keeping this short, Yesterday I didn't do shows. Today you've got two. Both on this channel are a little bit shorter. It says clearly in the Bible that Yahweh gives us the leaders, the kings, the presidents, the people that he wants us to have. And my God, have we done some foul things to get leadership like we have right now? May Yahweh bless. It's Dr. Kent. Do take care of yourselves. Count every blessing. Dwell upon it. Cultivate that attitude, gratitude, and watch the blessings flow in.